Hey, good morning. Mike from Hemian Homes here. So this is, continuing my journey, and I'm kind of like a video journal. I guess that's the way I want to handle this is. But I would just want to get on here and just talk, right? And I want to talk about my business plan and how I'm gonna do this and what I've been doing for a year. So first off, I'm gonna set my crews up. My crews are gonna be, you know, 80 to 70% of everything I do. I want to do painting and flooring. These are, you know, low areas of low boundaries or not boundaries, low entry type work, right? You got to have some skills with flooring, some cutting skills, but the painting, I'll take that back. You got to have a really good painter, and you can do okay with a mediocre painter for a little bit, but man, it really is nice to have a super professional painting crews. I have about 3 of them. They're small. They're only 2-man crews, like 3 2-man crews. Sometimes they can add a third. But 70% of everything I want to do painting and ceiling walls trim. I'm a decorative artist by trade. I've been doing a bunch of painting my whole life. I'm very good. So anyways, I'm pretty comfortable with the guys I have. I treat them well. I communicate with them like an adult. I'm nice to them and I pay them well. Sometimes my split is 60-40. Sometimes, depending on the job, my split is 70-30. I only use subs. I don't hire anybody within. The level of professionalism is the key, right? I've had some really bad crews. I had a soft spot for a crew for a little bit, and they burned me about 3 or 4 times. All crews are going to make mistakes. All crews are going to cause some kind of headache, but you want to minimize the headache, and you just really want to churn and burn. It's about volume, pure, undated volume. So overall plan, I would like to have 10 to 15 average size paint jobs every month, which is $5,000 to $7,000 jobs, and they're everywhere, right? They're everywhere. I also, at the moment, am taking in stuff that's $1,200, $1,500, $1,700. I will go do a 1-bedroom for $500 myself, right? That's how it's going to roll for a little while. I plan on not doing that after 6 months, 10 months, but I'll do like a front door, and I'll do some, 1-bedroom, 2-bedroom. So 70-80% of all my work is going to come from painting. And then on top of that, I can add in bigger projects, kitchens and bathrooms, flooring, roofing. I'll do siding. I'm going to stay away from electrical and plumbing. I mean, we have guys that are licensed that will do it, but I'm not going to advertise for it. But the other big thing I'm going to definitely advertise for is HVAC. Now, we have a person that my business partner is going to get his journeyman's and then his master's. And he's been working on it for now quite a long time. And then we have great relationships with about 3 or 4 crews. And, we're going to start advertising for HVAC, and they're going to start completing the work for us. So we see this collectively as a $7 to $10 million company. That's the goal. I have one. All my crews are very professional, but I have one that's very large, and they're licensed A contractors. They have heavy insurance. They're very, very, very good, and they're thorough. They're responsible. They allow me to go do what I need to do, which is sales and marketing and relationships. I obviously will stop by and take a look. I'll get the job started. We'll come in and see how it's going, and we'll come in and close it out. My job with my business partners were customer relations and management, and we will have the best company in the area, and I will work my ass off to get there. And we've already let go of crews. I'm always recruiting crews, but I think we're going to be pretty comfortable with the crews I have at the moment. One gentleman I have is wonderful. I've known him for 25 years, but he's getting older. So we just need to know how to maintain that and take care of it. So part of that is, his workload, right? Pretty simple. He only wants to make a certain amount of money every year, which is fine. Then I have one crew who's very hungry, and they have about 12 to 15 guys. And their hunger is, I want to utilize that. It's a great idea. So let's do that. How do we utilize their hunger? Now, my job is to make sure they don't go too fast. Slow it down. We have good production. Not good, but great production. We satisfy the client, close the jobs out. And it's tricky with some of these $4,500 jobs, $5,000 jobs. You got to be, you got to get done in 3, 4, 5 days, 5 days tops. Close it out, collect the monies. I get 50% deposit, and then I don't touch 50. I request another 50% when the job is done. It seems to work pretty well. Bigger jobs, I do a 40, 30, 30. On a couple big ones, we've had to request a 50% because they had unique situation where we had to order lots of material, windows, flooring, tile. But that's what my contractor A license group takes care of. They take care of that stuff. So they are all, it's written in the contracts. They're responsible for all the work. They're responsible for pulling permits. Their name's all over it. So, so let's recap. So 70% of everything I do is going to be painting. And I would like to drive that number to $2 to $3 million a year. And then the 30% of everything else I do are the big ticket items. Kitchens, bathrooms, flooring, some roofing, depends on the roof, depends on the situation. And I expect that to be, $3 million, $4 million worth of work as well. And then you add in the HVAC. The HVAC could be a $5 million, $6 million company in itself. So we're very excited. We have a long-term goal. We want to do this, which is motivating. I mean, you gotta want to do this, because if you don't truly want to do this, you're never going to succeed. You have to keep pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing. I'm going to have good days. I'm going to have great days. I had a bad day yesterday. I was sad, right? And that's part of my own psyche. I was sad that I was frustrated. The phone's not ringing this whole week. A little slow for my brother-in-law as well. And that's okay. I put out yard signs. I put out door hangers. I got a kiosk. I have Facebook ads. We have SEO that's working. We're doing these landing pages. So we just keep chipping away. And I think one day I'm going to dedicate a full day to do 1,000 door hangers. I don't know if I could do it, but I'm going to sure damn try, and it's going to be hilarious, and I'm going to record most of it. My poor legs are going to be shot. It's going to be awful. So that's kind of where I want to be, and I think it's a good game plan. Of course, these margins can move up and down. You got to have wonderful relationships with your subs. These guys they'll go to bat for you. They'll do what they need to succeed and get through the job. And if you have a good working relationship, things get a lot easier as a business owner. I'm not interested in hiring anybody right now. I just find that a massive headache. Cash flow is king right now. That's what I have to establish. We need to get cash flow into the $80,000 to $100,000 in the bank account, and just keep pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing. And it's volume. Number one, how do I get 40 to 50 leads every month? Painting, kitchens, bathrooms, whatever it may be. Just volume. I don't know how else to say it. And that's the goal. I live in a very wealthy area. I am not wealthy, but I live in a very wealthy area, and you gotta hustle. If you don't hustle, you're gonna be not living here. So you gotta bust your ass. Anyways, have a good one. See you later. Bye.